I
Stream
think
go
the
dead.
I think the stream kind of
the
died.
stream died. Yeah. Stream
And
died.
it's back. Okay.
Okay.
What?
The stream died.
Yep.
It is still
Watching
currently
it.
it is still currently dying. Okay.
Ah.
You're having so many technical difficulties and I don't understand why. To be fair, my computer is struggling with tabletop sim.
Or
Huh.
Founder, you mean?
Well, yeah, same difference. To be fair, you can't say anything. You called it tabletop sim like 3 times earlier. Also, my V2 thing is being all weird.
Yeah, I was about to say your buttons are moving. You muted.
I think it's.
Who's muted?
Me. Can I
Um,
do a perception check looking for any sort of a conflict, any sort of maybe unnaturalness to this?
Um,
Um,
yes, but first is the stream back?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and we're not like lagging or anything, right?
Nope. I do not have any like buffering or anything. Everything looks great.
Mhm.
Okay, because let me refresh this real quick.
Yeah,
'cause
I had
mine
to
is
refresh
still
mine to pull back up.
I noticed.
mine-
I saw that
well-
it was like 30 seconds in, and I had a black screen, and I was like, I should probably refresh.
Mm.
Well, I was refreshing it because it was still saying unstable connection, so I wanted to make sure. Okay. Yes, you can in fact make a perception to see if this is an unnatural kind of weather. Actually, that would probably be more of an Arcana check if you're checking to see if it's unnatural.
And
Advantage,
then-
disadvantage, or normal?
If it's an Arcana check, normal. If it's a perception check, disadvantage.
And then Mace is over here, still kind of coming down from life being a turncoat. He doesn't see anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Mace is having a time.
Yeah.
Had to happen eventually. None of
Yeah.
us are free.
18 on an Arcana check. You
Mhm.
definitely know that this is not a natural weather. This is kind of more the type of weather you would see crafted from magic.
Okay. Taste. It smells like magic. This.
Yeah, it smells like magic.
this. This. This storm isn't natural. It's magic. Maybe
People would
we
also
should-
have a hard time hearing if you talk at a normal level.
It's full on blizzard out here.
It's not full on blizzard, but it's windy, and the wind is just picking up like the top layer of snow and kind of blowing it around everywhere and
Yeah.
making it harder to see.
Mm.
Maybe we should stick to the tree line and go around.
So you have to get to the tree line. You're technically in a big open field looking
Oh.
at the tree line.
Huddle in, peeps. Straight line.
I'm gonna go ahead and follow them straight line.
Thank you
Buns
for
is
the accurate
going to
representation.
Climb up Mace and just kind of cling to him.
Yeah.
She's a Yoda backpack.
Gotcha.
Is Suo
Um,
rideable?
Suo is only half Kitsune, so no. Suo is not rideable.
Perhaps you should ask for her consent first.
I was about to say, I would
I
also
can
maybe
give someone a piggyback ride.
I would also maybe, I would say that maybe you should request consent before asking how rideable somebody is.
Also, there's two very different ways that you can interpret that question. And like,
How's the
one of
lad
them is
doing
definitely
back
not
there?
the answer you're looking for. And the answer is yes.
See, I was just thinking Buns might be warmer.
I would
Not
ask
riding
for a
upon
dinner
the
before asking that.
extremely cold Robo Man. I don't know that he produces heat.
It's habit
I
for her though.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
So
And then how's Vlad doing back there?
yeah, how is Vlad doing in the extreme cold covered in metal?
Does it
Well,
even affect him?
I mean,
well,
he
with
doesn't
the
have cold
with the lack of
resistance.
sunlight and the fact that I'm wearing full heavy metal armor, I guess you could say this chill is hitting me directly in the bone.
Oh yes,
Mm,
yes,
mm.
yes.
It's sending
Right
a
in the
real
bone.
chill down my spine.
So you're kind of trudging through. This snow is really like deep. Like there's a lot of snow here. It's not super solid. You're kind of having to do that thing where you lift your legs a little bit higher than normal to trudge through it. So it's definitely going to take you some time to trudge through it. But with enough time and dedication, you kind of start to everybody who's like walking through, everybody give me a perception with disadvantage. Except for Suo. Suo, you get regular perception.
I'm not lifting my
Regular
face.
perception?
Yeah, you don't you just get to roll straight perception.
Oh.
Perception, normal. Well, I rolled like shit anyway.
Is it something that I can hear? Because I'm not lifting my face.
It is then no, you don't get perception at all if you're
Okay.
not lifting your face.
Yeah, no. Lizard person's just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so Buns with a 20 on a disadvantage roll, you will notice that it looks like when you kind of peek up to catch a glimpse of how far you've traveled, the only person that's actually traveled any real distance is Suo. It almost looks as though you and the rest of the group haven't moved forward at all.
I'm going to tell everybody to stop and tell Suo. Suo, you're the only one moving.
Suo's just gonna like turn around like what?
Suo, you'll suddenly notice that there's a couple feet between you and the group.
What are you all doing back there? Is it that hard to walk through the... Do you want me to, like, pull you through?
It might
No.
help. My armor froze stiff back here.
We haven't moved. You have. And I know that Mace has been trying.
I'm going to grab Mace's hand.
Okay.
No,
Like, walk back?
before you come walking back, Mace is going to look at Buns, hold his hand up for her to hop onto,
And she does.
and he's just gonna shot put.
All right, give me a strength check to see how far you can.
Oh, that's not a good throw.
Okay, a 9.
Can I do an
You can-
acrobatics to not get...
I will say that you can technically give him the help action by like also like pushing off, so you can roll again.
Okay. Oh God. Honey, what?
Well, so we're gonna take the 9. So with Buns' help, you kind of you throw Buns. She gets a couple feet ahead of you. Suo, you're kind of over there ready to like catch Buns. As you see Buns make a dex saving throw real quick. Okay, luckily you land pretty gracefully in the snow. It's still, in comparison to everyone else, the snow is at least waist high for you. But you don't fall face first. You don't fall face first into it. Well, because how tall is Buns? Buns is only what?
3 foot?
3 foot.
I was about to say, Buns is only 3 foot.
3 foot at max.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably. I was imagining
3
it
foot
like
6.
around knee
Okay.
level.
3'6". It's about 2 feet of snow, so it's definitely above waist level for you.
Yeah.
Armpit level, just like.
Can I use my hop ability to hop towards Suo?
Sounds like
You
she's got something.
can.
Or did you have a different idea?
I'm going to take the rope out of my bag and tie it around my waist and toss it to Buns. And be like, you use this. You just come to me and just get on my shoulders or whatever. And then toss that to Mace so Mace can, like, wrap that around his waist. And then we just keep doing that. And I will lead through the snowstorm.
I think it's a magic thing keeping us from following.
This is worth a shot.
But yeah. And then I'll rabbit
It
hop.
will at least prevent me from getting too far away.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I'll go ahead and rabbit hop to Suo.
So having not actually grabbed the rope yet, as you rabbit hop and you get about 2-ish feet away from Suo, suddenly you're looking at Mace's back, and you kind of finish your hop right behind Mace.
So it was just gonna be like, that was really bizarre to watch.
It's like watching somebody rubber band in an MMO, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
it's
Yeah.
very similar. Yes.
We're in the
You're
lag.
muted.
Yeah.
We're all lagging.
Yeah, I had
Oh,
to
we're
pour
all-
some candy, so I had to mute.
We're all
Em's the only
lagging?
one with an active connection.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to now drag the rope back to me and
Is the
fucking
stream lagging?
I think it was just a saying.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
I was
oh, sorry.
Mace
I
Yeah,
thought
saying-
you
Can't
meant
just
like
say that.
I
We're
was
scared.
I was just comparing the situation to lag.
So yeah, Suo's now gonna drag the rope back, like gather it back up, tie a little like thing at the end, and fucking like lasso twirl it and send it towards Mace.
I'm gonna need you to make a.
Uh-huh.
Oh God, what kind of check is that gonna be? Probably like a.
I would say acrobatics. Or no,
Yeah, I'm gonna
athletics with
s-
disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna say athletics. Yeah, athletics with disadvantage seems pretty accurate. So you're trying to pull a cowboy maneuver here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will
Big
say,
cowboy
I'm not
energy.
trying to lasso Mace specifically.
But you
I
are
am
trying to lasso
using-
through the wind.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Hateful.
So as you kind of like do the like impressive
goes-
cowboy thing, as soon as you like do the like throw forward, wind catches it and it just kind of like it flies to the right of you and then just falls into the snow, like
Okay.
almost
We're gonna
looked
embarrassingly
really
close to your
nice.
feet.
We're gonna try this
Maybe.
again.
Could you just walk back to us?
Maybe just yeah. Yeah, maybe you should just walk to us.
I guess
That
that's
may-
fair.
It's like what? She's like what? Maybe
She's a good 10
10
maybe
feet?
15 total feet away at most.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just make my way back.
Make
Okay.
my way back down.
You make your way back to the group.
All right, I am now going to hand Mace the rope that is currently tied up, like the end of the rope that is not tied around my waist, and then just take Buns. and just like, all right.
So I will tie Mace at about the halfway point, and then take the rest of the rope to Vladinsky for him to do the same.
And then everyone else can hold on to the rope while we're walking.
And then I was
Maybe
thinking I
it could
pick
be,
up
like-
Nugget, and Ham could be resting on Nugget in my arms.
How heavy is Nugget?
He's basically the same size as I am, but maybe heavier, so he's probably a solid 50 pounds, whereas I'm 25.
Okay, so still reasonably you can pick him up. Okay.
So what you so Mace is gonna be holding the child and the dog
Yep.
at the same time. That's what that's gonna look like.
Yes.
Okay,
Cool.
so
I am a 2'1", 26-pound 10-year-old.
so just to
Quote,
just to make sure
unquote,
that this
10.
is just to make sure that this is accurate. Buns is riding on Suo's shoulder, hypothetically, being carried specifically by Suo.
Yes.
Yes.
Suo is then holding a rope that
Rope
that
itself is tied
Mace-
around me.
and then the rest of the group is holding on or tied to this rope.
Yes.
We're all connected to the rope, or someone that is connected to the rope.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
So,
once
And
all that's
only
done,
three
Suo's just gonna
people are
do like
tied
a
together.
nod and like start going.
okay.
So we have plenty of rope to do it, because there's only 3 of us that are actually tied together with rope.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
So you
50-foot
begin.
rope.
So you begin trudging through the snow. You kind of have to focus ahead of you because it's kind of hard to see. Aside from Buns, you're the closest. Give me a perception. Not at disadvantage, just a regular perception.
Hey.
So Buns, you can't see through this stormy weather around you, but being like so close to Suo, you see that Suo is having an oddly easy time, and just like Suo can see where she's going. She knows where she's going. She sees the like destination ahead of her. But you look in that destination and you just see this like tunnel of snow and wind. And as you're kind of like pondering on this and noticing this, suddenly you don't see Suo anymore, and you start to fall and you hit the ground covered in snow, and you see ahead of you, as slowly the rest of the group kind of they go forward. Suo, at a certain point, you feel nothing
Buns
on
just
the other.
disappear.
Yeah, and you feel nothing on the other end of the rope. And if you turn around, you will notice that the party has almost done exactly what Buns did earlier, where she hit essentially one end of something and popped back up on the other side of it.
She's gonna be like, "Fuck."
But I just imagine Buns just fully splayed out in the snow, just like, what the fuck?
Just like laid out on her back, going like, "What the hell just happened?" And then just slowly, snow angels.
Yeah.
Just like, it's been a day. I'm making a snow angel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn around and just see if there's anything that gives me an indication that maybe I can like stop the storm from this side.
So to you, you see the storm, air quotes storm, that everyone is talking about. But to you, it seems like a slight exaggeration. Like, it's bad, but you can see through it. Like, it's not that bad. But there's no, like, you don't see anything that jumps out to you as something causing the storm.
Okay.
Hey guys, I might have an idea.
Is Buns kind of like at that point where Suo disappeared, or is she back with everybody else?
You're back with everybody. You like I said, you rubber banded back and fell into the snow.
And then the rest of us did, and the rope just kind of fell in place.
Yeah, the rope is still where Suo is. So like the rope length is there and you can see where it was tied to something, but you guys then rubber banded back into place.
Okay.
Buns will. Yeah, she'll cast message at Suo. Hey, I don't think we're supposed to be able to go. So, maybe there's something you have to do to let us. Then you can reply to this message.
Also, Ham had an idea. I don't know if anybody heard him.
Yeah, we heard it. I heard him.
What's
Okay.
up, Ham?
If he's still in my arms, Nace would be looking down. Yes.
What if we if it's specific to Suo, we can just use some of her blood to bypass the magics.
That seems
That's
may have a
such a
bit
Ham
extreme,
response.
but that is possible. I think maybe holding hands first before we go that route.
But I mean, wasn't Suo was
The-
like carrying
the-
Buns and that didn't work?
You know, that's a fair point.
Suo, if you want, give me a perception check also.
Okay. I'm still trying to think of what I was gonna how I'm gonna
Reply.
respond to ones, yeah.
Yeah.
See if there's anything that I can come with. Jesus Christ.
Okay. 12. So as you're kind of thinking of
Horrible.
what you're gonna respond to Buns, and you're kind of looking like you're doing that like thinking thing where you're like looking and then you look behind you and then you look, then you look back at you. You kind of run a thought into your head where you're just like, I don't understand why they can't see where we're going. Like that symbol in like the distance away. It's clearly glowing. Like I don't understand why they wouldn't be able to see it. It's glowing.
Uh Suo is going to respond to Buns with saying, can you not see the glowing symbol in the distance?
Buns is going to ask everybody else. Do you see anything glowing past Suo?
Just to be clear here, none of you can see the tree line. Like the storm
And
for
they
you
see
guys
me?
is incredibly bad. You having rubber banded, you're not as far away before. You're maybe 10 feet away from Suo at this point. But every once in a while, when the wind picks up a little bit, you just kind of see a red outline of Suo.
It's whiteout conditions for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's very, very dark. Like not dark, but it's very, very like snowy and windy.
Thick.
Yeah.
Going to say that the response she got from everybody was a no.
Yes. Just collective shaking of head. I barely see Suo at this point.
Another mending. Thankfully, it's a cantrip.
Message.
A message, yeah.
I'm like,
I was about to
what are we
I was
fixing?
like,
What are we mending?
Rope. Another message. No, we can barely see you. It's really bad. to get counterspell.
So, I'm gonna respond. I think you might be right, unless you happen to have a spell that can disperse this.
Again with the message. No, I don't have anything like that. I need to find a scroll of counterspell or something so that I can learn it. But no, I don't have anything that can fix this.
You don't have a spell magic?
Mm-mm.
So, Buns, I need you to make a intelligence check. Intelligence Arcana with advantage. Suo, I need you to make a I'll say perception.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
Just give me another perception.
Yay, dice rolls.
Double 7.
Yum.
There we
These dice
go.
rolls are just about as cold as we are.
Hey,
Mine are all over the place.
Okay, so we'll start with Buns. Buns, you're kind of mulling this over. You're not 100% sure what it is here, but clearly there's something different for Suo versus the rest of you. Now, normally that means that if this in fact is some kind of magic that is doing this, then there must be something that is making an exception specifically for Suo somehow. So it could be gleamed that maybe you just need to figure out what the exception is. So with an 18, looking back at that symbol, at that glow, you are very familiar. It feels very familiar and it looks very familiar to you. It's very much the same kind of glow as when you use your Kitsune fire.
hey, Buns.
Hmm?
Do you have any glass jars? So it's just gonna walk back over to Buns.
I mean,
Who knows what's in your hood?
there could be some in my hood. I don't know what they kept in there, but all I've got, and she takes out a vial of a
I was
bottle
gonna
of
say,
ink.
Suo just shoves her entire hand in the hood.
Starts wearing the hoodie flipped backwards.
Just like elbow deep, just like rustling around like fucking Mary Poppins.
So when you go to shove your hand into the back
Don't
of
do it.
Buns's
Don't do it.
into the back
No.
of Buns's hood, you just hit hood.
Oh.
No. Buns feels this and she's like, what?
Aggressively pulls hood around.
All of those books. Oh no. She pulls out a vial of ink that's frozen almost. Prestidigitation to warm it and melt it and then dumps it out. You owe me
It's
ink.
rather small, yeah, but
We'll try
It's
it.
an ounce.
So I'm gonna take that vial. And I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. Okay?
okay.
I'm going to make a little bit of foxfire.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put it in the vial and cap it.
In the vial sits a very small bit of foxfire that illuminates just a little bit of space, but it does seem to
And I'm going to
essentially
give it to
clear.
Buns
Okay.
and see if Buns can see better with it.
So Buns, specifically the little area around the vial. So essentially the space around you, like only a little bit, is now kind of more clear to you than it was before. But it's a small vial, so it doesn't extend very far.
I have torches on the backpacks on Nugget.
We have got torches too.
Ooh, will that work?
There's also,
I will light a
there's al-
torch with foxfire. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure I have torches too.
We
Do
all
when
you?
you light the
I had 10
torch with
torches.
foxfire, the the entire radius that the torch illuminates becomes clear.
20-foot radius.
Yep.
So that one torch would cover all of us.
Yeah.
If we're all huddled in the circle, yeah.
Buns keeps her vial of foxfire.
Yeah, I was gonna say you keep that. You have your tiny little foxfire now.
So that specific space is clear to you. Now the party, they can only see as far as the clear space. So
Right.
you can still see to the tree line.
So now I'm going to keep walking for I'm gonna now take the rope and still give
Retie
it back
everyone.
to retie everybody. Right. Just so that way nobody gets lost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mom
we're
and
gonna
her
try
ducks.
this again.
Mom and her ducks. Yes.
Right.
So as you all start kind of following Suo, that moment where you like tense up just a little bit because you're expecting that rubber band to happen, it does not happen. You easily continue following Suo.
Aha!
We still need to hurry. Torches don't last forever.
The torch burns for 1 hour. Well, normal torches burn for 1 hour. I don't know how that would affect in, blizzard conditions, but
So it's gonna take, the torch will last long enough. It kind of starts to fizzle out right as you hit the tree line, just because you still have to walk through a dense layer of snow. Even without the wind and the hard to see, it still takes you a while to trek. But as you kind of reach the tree line, it fizzles out. Luckily, nobody rubber bands though, so everybody is still together, and you've reached the tree line.
We light another torch.
yeah, I mean, is it dark? Because if it looks like we might need another torch, I will light another one.
It's not dark. It's
Is it dark for us?
No, it's not dark. It's probably a little past noon at this point. So, if you had to relate it to like what it would look like it's a snowy weather, kind of sunny, at around like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Like a light snow.
Yeah, so
Not a
like it's
blizzard
sunny.
snow.
It's sunny enough that you can see everything, but like it's not that like the sun is shining kind of sunny. It's like all coming through clouds.
So now that we've reached the tree line, can I get a closer inspection of the symbol?
Yeah, it's just past the first couple sets of trees. And as you approach it, you kind of feel a very warm, comforting, just like almost like a really nice fireplace, like warm and cozy.
Yeah, she does a full body shaky shake. Hey, Buns.
Yeah?
Can you do detect magic on the symbol?
Do I see the symbol?
Yes. So you can see the carving in the tree. It doesn't glow for you, but you see the carving in the tree.
Buns, I mean, I guess.
It's gonna have to take me a bit.
It's okay.
Okay. And Buns will sit down and ritually cast Detect Magic.
I was like, I feel like there's no reason rushing as far as.
So anyone else, because Suo's inspecting the symbol, Buns is prepping. Everyone else who is in the area who isn't doing one of those two things can make a perception check.
I'll make a check.
What color is it glowing?
almost like a warm hearth red.
Okay, okay.
Okay, 16, 5. Sorry, I didn't ask Vlad to do something that he had negative numbers in, so he didn't overdo it.
No, there's no sun to stare at and get directly in my eyes. That's why I can't see anything.
8 plus 9 for 16 or 17.
Okay, so Mace and Ham, you both will notice. There's animals, there's forest creatures, there's a lot of birds and things kind of like sitting in some of the trees, and they're moving around, and there's some more kind of wintry well worn kind of creatures, but you notice that there's the bird that sits in the tree where the symbol is carved is just staring directly at your party. Whereas all the other creatures kind of they glance and then they kind of go back to their business. This bird sits on the branch closest to the party and just stares directly at you. It's kind of a it's completely pale white with red eyes. It's a little uncommon because most of the birds you see around this area are more dark colored, deep browns or blacks. This is the only kind of almost pale white bird that just stares directly at your group, unmoving.
Can I attempt to call it?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna call it?
I really
Look-
like the idea that this bird is like 3 to 6 feet above my head, and I am so engrossed in this symbol that I do not notice it.
It is quite literally like 6 feet above you because it's just the closest branch to the ground.
I look to the bird, or Mace looks to the bird, holds a finger out, and kind of chirps.
It tilts its head at you, kind of giving you that look that birds sometimes give, where they just look very like, what? And it just kind of like tilts its head and looks at you, and it chirps back at you.
Okay.
Let me double check what I have here. Can I break up one of my, like, the bread or something from one of my rations and, like, spread that out on the ground as a bit of an offering? And I'm just going to ask in common, just, are you the guardian of this forest?
It's still looking at Mace, and then it tilts its head the other way to look at you, and then it looks at the bread on the ground, and it goes, "Yeah, that's me."
Suo is gonna full body just like step back and look up where this voice came from above her head.
Suo's shook.
Was not prepared at all.
And,
Oh.
what are you guarding from? Are we allowed here?
Oh, well, I don't know. Depends on what you're here for, I guess. How can I help you? This is a particular tree that you're looking at. What can I do for you? How can I help you? It just keeps like kind of doing that like quick like looking around at the party like head that bird head like jerky motion.
Switching which eye it's using, because, you know, they're side-mounted.
Mhm.
Front-facing birds aren't real. They can't hurt
Yeah.
you.
Mace puts his hand down. Oh, no offense, Bent.
No, it's okay. I doubt you know what you said.
Suo is gonna be like, oh, I think,
Yeah, I think this is
think-
your thing, Suo.
I think my mom is here.
Your mom is here? Is she a
Also,
bird?
the symbol is glowing, and I don't know if that means anything important.
Oh, you see the glow? Oh, that's important. That's nice. So your mom's not a bird then. Interesting. Sorry.
Sorry
Um,
for what?
That her mom's not a bird.
Mace just nods.
no, she's a fox.
Oh, is she a special fox? Is she a winter fox? Gray? There's lots of those around here. I could help you find one of those.
No, she's I'm not really sure. I've never met her before.
You've never met her before. How do you know
Uh-huh.
she's not a bird?
Because I think I would be able to turn into a bird instead of a fox.
You can't turn into a bird? I'm sorry.
You probably can. Druid stuff.
Look, for that's a different reason. Look, I mean, I can turn into a bird. Well, no, actually, I can't turn into a bird. Not yet. I haven't
yet.
learned how
Not
to
yet,
do
yeah.
flying, but we're working on it, okay? Birds are a lot more difficult than ground creatures.
It's hard to make your bones frail on purpose.
I want to let you know I actually physically turned around.
Why?
Physically turned around like, dude. Um. No, I think she can make fire.
Oh, she can make fire? A lot of people
She
make
might
fire.
have more than one tail. She probably has more than one tail.
Oh, you're talking about her. Oh, well, that's different. You could have just said that from the beginning. Kind of led
Probably
me on
has
this
about
weird
9 of
chase.
them.
Yeah, you kind of led me
Probably
on a
has
weird
about
chase
9 of them.
there. Yeah, yeah. You could have just said that from the beginning. I mean, like, you really could have. Like, first I thought you were a bird, and then you weren't a bird, and that's depressing. I'm still sorry about that.
Yeah, it's a lot to
Uh,
work through.
Yeah, she's probably in there. Well,
In
you could ask the other person.
in where? What other person? And she's gonna
Uh,
start looking around.
Well, in there, in the tree, in her home, the house. And the other person, the one, they look like a person. Their parents also aren't birds. It's really depressing. A lot of people have bird parents.
Suo's just gonna like reach out to the symbol and just like you can see her like go like she's gonna knock and then go like she's gonna like push open a door and then go to knock again and then just kind of like
It's a pull door.
pokes it.
Oh, you have to say like a special thing.
I have to say
The
it's
the one that comes out for wood every once in a while, she says a special thing, and then it goes whoo, and it makes a little circle, and then she walks in.
Whoa.
Well, it's less of a woo noise, but like kind of more like a whoosh noise.
I see.
You guys aren't from around here.
No.
How's the detect
No.
magic coming?
It takes 10 minutes to ritual cast, right?
Yes.
You're probably a little over halfway done. I mean, the conversation with the bird is maybe taken like 5 to 6 minutes.
I was gonna say because the next step is that if we can't figure this out, is we have to identify.
Buns, you're concentrating on that ritual. But something strange starts to happen in the middle of it. Your forehead starts to feel a little warm.
Interesting. Suo's like basically
if I stop the spell, I'll lose it.
Well,
I
think
mean, nobody said it out loud. That's just a thing
Right.
you noticed.
yeah, I think at this point that we know it's magical. It's just what kind of magic, I suppose, would be kind of helpful.
Right.
And then Mace will start rifling off ideas like, is there a word that comes to mind, maybe that reminds you of your mom, or
I was
that
actually going to go back to the note that Persephone gave me that I totally remember and or have readily accessible.
The note is just a symbol of the tree, and it circles the part of the map where you can find the tree on. It doesn't have any words on it. At this point, too, the bird has also kind of hopped a little bit further down the branch and is looking directly at Nugget and goes, "Well, you have wings. Were you a bird? Did they pluck your wings? I'm so sorry."
Kind of just Nugget's just gonna lick his lips. Like,
I imagine
Your beak shaped weird.
I imagine he does the like gecko eye lick.
You got a funny beak.
There is like nothing that I can think of. Out of character.
Buns. That
Hmm.
warm feeling on your forehead, it starts to grow a little bit warmer and it starts to feel familiar. It's in a specific spot on your forehead.
She'll go ahead and stop casting and touch it. The
Um,
symbol of Denier.
everybody but Buns, give me a perception.
Perception.
8 plus 9 for 17.
Okay. So anybody that gets a 15 and up,
So Mace and me.
you hear kind of like the snapping of a twig under feet, a little ways off into the forest.
Mace instantly has hand axe gripped and ready to throw, turning towards the sound.
I thought you were holding me and Nugget.
One hand.
I want to let you know that there was a sound of like somebody stepping in the music right after you said that.
Suo, actually, as you're kind of distracted thinking, you feel something land on your head, and then you hear a very that same bird voice go, "Are you thinking too hard?
Maybe.
Are you gonna hurt your head? Don't do that."
The bird has Pepe'd.
Buns will look up at the bird. Has somebody come out of this tree recently?
Ah, yeah, the same lady that comes out all the time to get wood.
Do you think she'll be back soon?
I think
Maybe.
she's
I don't know.
coming.
I don't keep track of time.
I think she's coming.
Oh, good.
Good.
She's nice. I think. I don't know. I've never talked to her. And she seems okay.
Does she have red hair?
No, she's blonde. You all can kind of hear his footsteps start to approach. And Buns, that warm feeling is now you can feel it radiating as a figure stops about 30 feet away from the group, and you can hear as they drop all the wood in their hands and they reach their hand up and under the cloak that they have pulled over their shaded face, you can tell that they reach up and touch their forehead.
Buns will step forward and show her symbol.
She pulls her hood down, and you see a beautiful pale elf woman with long blonde hair, and in the center of her forehead is a gold symbol that matches the symbol of DnDEp. Her eyes are brown, and she just stares at you. What are you doing here?
I'm looking for my mother.
It's not.
Isn't
Plus,
danger-
It's
there's
not
a lot
safe.
of other stuff. There's a lot of shit going on right now.
Oh,
Not
well,
safe.
it's not safe to just be out here. There's things that patrol the area to keep the woods safe from intruders. You have the mark.
I do.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Are you Claire?
Yeah, how do you know my name?
We're friends of DnDEp.
Oh, you
We need
found
to
him?
go inside and talk.
Oh,
We have been traveling with him for some time.
We need to go talk.
Okay,
There's a
well,
lot
sure. Let's just get out of the cold. You can see as she walks over to the symbol, and she kind of leans in and she whispers softly at the door a word in Elvish that you can't really make out, and
Nope.
it starts to swirl as like the wind around you and the snow kind of forms a door essentially made of snow.
If it's Elvish, is her face visible to Mace? Maybe.
No, she specifically
Okay.
is facing the tree, and she like leaned down and like she like how people
Okay.
put pins in. She like lifted a hands to cover it.
Got it.
Can I try to hear it since Elvish is a language I know for reasons?
Yes, you can make an attempt to listen.
Will that be a perception?
That is a perception.
That'll be a 24. 15 plus
you
9.
you definitely hear it. It's not an Elvish word that you've heard, so it's a little bit hard for you to translate, but it would be like the closest you could translate it to is like Firefox.
I see. Okay. I'll just make a mental note of that. Because I'm too cold.
And then she reaches out and she opens the snow door, and on the other side is just a beautiful, lush green forest that's warm and inviting.
Oh,
Buns, hang back a moment.
Quickly, you guys go in.
Yeah, you should enter quickly, actually, because I can't leave the door open too long. It's not safe.
Hey,
I'm running.
Bird?
I wiggle out and I run to be warm.
Yeah, I would have dropped.
Hey, Guardian Bird, we were never here, okay? Okay.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Did Suo already walk in?
Duo will walk in with everybody else.
Yeah, the bird doesn't get off your head. He just goes, yeah, sure, I'll make sure I don't tell anyone.
Oh, okay.
And then just
Okay.
walks in with us.
That works.
I just imagine he like just settles in the fur, like keeping
He's
his
very
little
much
feces warm.
nestled right in
Right.
between your ears, like your fox ears.
Creating a nest. Yep.
Mace gives a look to Buns as they pass through.
The door behind you closes and like it almost melts away, being made of snow. And the lady looks at you all and she goes, um, welcome. Please, follow me. And she just starts walking a small little path, just like a kind of a man-made, like they've walked it so many times that it's created a walkway path.
Mhm. You don't live here alone, do you?
Oh no, this isn't. I could never create something like this. No, no, I live here with someone.
Do they have red hair?
Yeah, it's actually beautiful. It's
Buns
kind of
tries
similar to your friends, but not quite the same.
Prestidigitation time.
vegetation, a different shade of red, trying to find that match.
Close. It's a little bit more on the. Well, you'll see it.
Finally.
Right.
She kind of
Mace
leads
will
you through.
scoop Buns up real quick.
Buns and
Mhm.
Suo.
Uh-huh,
Mhm.
uh-huh.
So, Suo, your necklace will start to kind of get warm and like just give a little bit of a like a vibrate against your chest. And Buns, your tuning fork will also give a similar like kind of light vibration. And if you kind of look around you, you see hints of familiarity, Buns. Like this is almost a copy of a place you've been.
Are we in the Fey realm?
No. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be safe to just go straight there. It is based off of the Fey realm. It is her favorite place. Or, well, one of them.
Is it anything similar to either of the two courts?
It's more on the Titania side of things because everything is luscious and beautiful and well taken care of.
Scary and cold and desolate.
Almost
summer
to the
court?
point where like this place is so almost spot on to like the nice forest areas of the Fae that if you closed your eyes you could almost hear like pixies and things giggling as they like scurry around the forest.
Buns will kind of just, through her robes, hold her tuning fork. It feels familiar.
Oh, it's always felt very cozy here.
And then Mace will purposefully hang back a moment, just trying to keep himself out of whisper earshot. Keep the news of Dee's current status to ourselves. To Buns.
Wait, you're talking to Buns?
Yes, I had scooped her up and was whispering in her hair.
I could not hear you.
Let's keep Dee's status to ourselves for the moment.
No. This is Claire. We were supposed to find her. To find the tower. I think I'm gonna need that tower.
We will need that tower, yes. But I don't think news of him is going to do any favors.
Yes, it will.
You kind of hear from off in the distance. Don't stray too far behind. It's easy to get lost in here.
Simply advising against it. still moving, but just kind of hanging back. But yeah.
She kind of reaches a point where there's this archway, and the archway is covered in all different colors of flowers and things. And there's like a little picket gate and style door. And peering over it, you see this like nice little pocket of open field surrounded by luscious like green trees and a field of flowers. And you can see off to one side is a little vegetable garden, and off to the other side is a well with a bucket kind of hanging. And it's this beautiful little small cottage in the center of this field. And she opens the door and she goes, we're here. Follow me. Knowing her, she probably already knows you're here.
Stuart was just gonna be like, just like very, very antsy, very like
Nervous.
distracted and nervous and just like, yeah, what, uh-huh.
Buns
Yep.
will walk over and slide her hand into Suo's.
To hand.
Yes, the hand.
She slides her hand into Suo's. It's implied that it's Suo's hand.
You see as
Yeah.
Claire kind of skipped a little ahead of you and has already opened the door and walked in, as you all are a little behind. There's gentle smoke coming from the chimney too, and as soon as the door opens, you smell a very fresh herbal smell. Almost as if somebody is brewing tea.
I roll to identify tea.
Go for it.
What am I rolling?
Probably something related to cooking or medicine. So I'd say
So
nature
my
or medicine.
my cooking utensils uses wisdom. So just wisdom plus proficiency. So
Medicine, then I suppose.
Yeah.
6.
You could use medicine, yeah.
Well, I'm not proficient in medicine, only cooking.
Yeah, you get proficiency in this check because it's
Food
essentially
related.
tea is food related, yeah.
Okay, so 16 total, 10 plus 6.
It's you can't pinpoint the like exactness of everything, but you get aromas of mint leaf, some standard black tea leaves, maybe something a little bit akin to like a cinnamon stick.
Cozy.
What do you all do?
Come on, Suo. We've got to warn her. Buns will just tug on her hand and make her way towards the door. Kind of dragging
knows.
Suo if necessary.
You kind of reach the door, and inside you see Claire, who is taking her hood off or taking her cloak off, and she's wearing just a white shirt and some nice simple, maybe made out of some natural leathers kind of pant, and a simple shoe. And she sits at a table and she sips out of a cup, a wooden cup, and she just looks at the door and she goes, "Come in."
I look for a
on
kitchen.
The kitchen. So the house is kind of round. In the center is this table. Off to one side in one corner is kind of where the sleeping area is. There's a desk for writing and kind of just a regular study kind of area off one side. Next to that is a hearth. In the hearth is a kettle that's bubbling with that brew of tea. And then off to the side of that is the kitchen area. And stood there is a woman with her back faced to you. It's her hair is long and reaches almost the small of her back, and it's braided, and it's this intertwined, almost red with gold hues mixed into it. And below that, she kind of is wearing a traditional, almost kimono style outfit, with the waist cinched and tied. And you can see some tails, which you can already assume are folded in on themselves. These tails are peculiar, though. They're not white and red. They have a gold kind of hair that comes out and then transitions to this like gold red at the tips.
Does Buns feel any particular? Well, no, she gave up her godhood. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, basically that.
Mace would simply walk in and have a seat.
Yep.
I curl up next to whatever fire is fueling the pot and soak in kitchen energy.
Buns
You
will
kind of see
pull Suo in, set her down. Oh boy, do we have a lot of things to say.
You kind of see as one of her ears kind of twitches just a little before doing that kind of like dog thing where it turns a little to kind of like face the direction of sound. And the woman is like cleaning some mugs and putting them on a tray, and she goes, "I'm so sorry. I'll face you in a moment. I just simply I didn't have cups prepared." Claire says that you all were in the woods, the cold part. It's so unique that you made it that far.
We had assistance.
I like beckon Nugget over, and we both curl up next to the fire.
The bird on your head, Suo, goes, hi, yes, nice to meet you. Sorry that you're not a bird. I know I say that every time, but you know, I don't want you to be sad about it. This one says they're looking for their mom. At that, you see both of her ears.
Kind of like.
You see both of her ears perk, and her tail kind of fluffs out, and it spreads into this beautiful, like, fluffy 9 different tails. And she turns to look at the party.
Is this like
and
when a
you
cat
all
gets
see...
spooked?
No.
Oh.
It's just kind of her kind of fluffing it out. And you all see, as she turns to look at you, this image that I've shared in Discord real quick. As she turns and her gold eyes connect straight to Suo's.
Buns will hop over and sit down next to Claire.
Oh no, she's hot.
This is not a no-no.
I mean, it is a no-no, but not like that kind of oh-no.
You see as she kind of just stares at you, and then she kind of just looks all around you and takes it's almost as if she is taking every single feature you have into consideration, and she just stares at you.
Now that it's not like cold outside, oppressively cold outside, and also now that she's like being scrutinized, she just kind of like slowly reverts back to like her
Tiefling form.
tiefling self, and then just kind of like
So,
Awkward double thumbs up.
I almost wouldn't believe it, but oh, I mean, obviously you have my form, but you have your father's horns. What an interesting mixture.
Yeah, the first a recent development.
We met Aki, and he helped her.
How is he? Is he doing well?
Yeah.
Good, good. I'm glad he stayed out of trouble.
He was
He
running a
found you?
magic shop. We found
That's-
him. He was running a magic shop.
That's very like him. He collects a
I-
lot of weird stuff.
We went back to that place and he wasn't there, so I think he found Suo.
Oh. How did you... You're here. How did you get here? Oh,
We've had a lot of assistance from
Kronos got us here.
Kronos
wanted
brought
this-
you here.
I wanted us to be happy. The Lifebinder's coming for you. She's angry.
You see as her mouth kind of closes and she looks at you and she tilts her head and she goes, well, yes, but how did you know?
She told us.
She told
You
us
ran into her?
yeah.
We've ran into a lot of gods recently. We actually went to so at this point, Suo's just gonna word vomit. Like literally everything that has happened since we all met. Just full like, yeah, so first we met D because he needed us to go find his memories, and then we went to the library, and then I saw the owl, and then there was like the room with the thing, and then with like the fae and the weird laughter, and then we went back, and then we got D's memories, and then we found out there's this cult that's like doing that thing where they're like killing all the gods, and we were like, oh, that's not good. So then we were like, okay, we should go help out, and then we met saved Demeter, and then we also saved Time, and then there were some crazy people, and just like, yeah,
Complete
like
exposition vomit.
During all
Uh-huh.
of that, Ham starts cooking if he is not supervised.
I mean, she allows you to. She notices that you do. She just lets you do it. She
Mhm,
also
mhm.
passes out tea, a warm cup of tea to everyone as she's listening.
I'm using my special cauldron.
Gotcha.
and then it's just like, so then yeah, and then finally, while we were, we're trying to get ready for Dee's funeral because he just died, and he's just been
What?
like the whole reason that we did this whole thing, and then we
You are
and then life
interrupted. You are very much interrupted by Claire, who just drops her cup.
Well, would she have dropped her cup then, or earlier in the exposition dump where we mentioned that the priest or the goddess of the hunt died, and we went to help that before Dee died?
No, because
I
she's
mean,
very
that's
specifically
somber.
upset about it's specifically because she's an acolyte of D.
She's an
So,
acolyte.
like,
Yeah.
So when that would be, so it would have been, if she does that, it would have been so, because she would have been talking about how Artemis died, or the goddess of the hunt died, and so then we went to this whole meeting thing, and then that's when I kind of did, worked on my powers, and Dee was working with Buns, and we were doing all this, and then Persephone asked us to go do this, and then we went to that battle, and then all of a sudden, and we were struggling, and then Dee came out, and he really helped us out of that, and then as we were finishing up because we defeated her, then something was wrong with Dee, so we had to bring him back, and then we find his last will and testament, and so then we find out that he dies, and then we're trying to like get the funeral together, and then
Yeah,
like
so
that's
at
probably
that-
when
At that point, she's very much just, you are stopped by the sudden realization that Claire has just dropped her cup.
the
and it is-
shattered of
and her chair, it doesn't shatter because it's made of wood, but it hits with a thud on the table, as you also hear her chair kind of fly backwards as she stands up, and she goes, I'm sorry, I think you got part of the story wrong there. You might need to correct that.
He's not with us
He's gone.
anymore.
I wish I was wrong.
Buns pulls out her book, pulls out the letter that she hasn't had the heart to copy into her book. And holds it out to Claire.
She reaches out, and you can see as her hand is shaking. She grabs it. And
Buns
she
fixes her
slowly-
chair.
She
Tries-
slowly kind
Sit
of
down.
opens it and starts skimming it. And she slowly sinks back into her chair. And she sets the letter down. And she looks at the group and she goes, "That is so... I hate him so much."
Very in character for him, I would assume.
Almost. I mean, he called somebody else smart. I assume that you must be the person he refers to then.
I'm Buns.
That explains the familiar warmth from the symbol, I guess.
And Mace will just give a slight hand wave. Mace.
Hi.
Oh yeah, that's Flodinsky, and that's him, and
That's so.
Nugget. I don't know why that took me so long.
Claire, I think I'm gonna need his tower.
Nugget is happily humming and does not take offense that you
Uh,
didn't recognize him.
Of course. Of course. I mean,
Or no, Ham.
you're the new him, I guess, so that makes sense. But it's, you asked if that's like him. It's very much not. You must have really had an impact on him.
Yeah, we kind of saved his ass a few times, and in
Mhm.
response, he saved ours. So, we were friends.
That's more like him, saving him. I mean, the amount of
He-
times he was so engrossed in a book that he would let a house burn down. It's ridiculous.
Kind of got shrunk down to like pixie size and was living in my hood for a while.
Oh, I'm sure he despised every second of that.
He said he did, but I don't really think he did.
You see, she kind of smiles just a bit at the thought of it, and then she kind of just goes back to like a blank stare, and she's,
Pocket dimension goes away if the creator dies, huh?
I mean, assumedly, yes.
What happens to the stuff that was in there?
I guess it depends. What was in there?
Books.
Books? Well, knowing Denier, if they were borrowed books, which almost every book that Denier has is borrowed, he'd make sure that they get returned to where they came from, almost as if he borrowed them from a library, you know? Take care of the books and share the knowledge. That's the rule.
It means that one book that he'd never read is back where it belongs. Okay.
So, the Book of the Life Binder.
Yeah, I think we need that book.
I'm sorry? A book of the Life Binder?
It was a book Dee had never read.
While we were tending to odd jobs in the city, in the main city, the Moor, in their library, in the back, there was a book with her symbol on it. It stuck out to me as I am was one of her personal guard.
You see as the kitsune, who is Suo's mom, stands up
It's not gonna hurt
and
you.
she looks down at the table. I know he won't, but I know the book he talks about. You